Throughout the Simpsons run, they have introduced numerous starring, co-starring, background, side characters, or even one-off characters. Some just become staple background characters. And just recently, The Simpsons aired an episode that killed off a Simpsons character that's been around since episode 1, who's been seen in the background numerous episodes, and a regular at Moe's Tavern. And when you see all the news articles about the episode airing and having said character killed off, when you first hear about this character, you go, oh? And after watching the episode, Larry, a regular at Moe's Tavern, who's been seen since the first episode of The Simpsons, has passed away. And it turns out that no one really knew who Larry was. And while the episode was fine, it makes me wonder why this character? I mean, it's easy just to say you kill off a background character who's had only 2 lines the whole entire series run. Even the one episode that focused on him, he has no lines in it at all. It'd be more of an issue if Moe, Lenny, Carl, Barney, if any of the main side characters are killed off, it probably would have more of an impact. This character, from what I understand, mainly just sat in the background. In fact, the only thing I found about him that involves him talking was voice lines in the Simpsons game.
I just wandered around all night. Has anyone seen Sam? He just inherited $10 million.
When reading about the articles that came out since the episode, apparently even the producers of the show had to apologize to fans for the character's death, and went on to explain what the thought process was from killing off the character. The producer of the show said, "To me, it's sort of fitting that some fans are taking Larry's demise as hard as Homer and his friends do," Long said. "It's just a measure of how much the show means to people. I mean, nobody would have been upset if the Flintstones had cut off the Great Gazoo. If anything, they would have been thrilled." The episode's about a lot of things, but mostly it's about the fear of death. Simpsons characters have always had unusually rich emotional lives, and this episode really about their anxiety of what comes next. He added, "What I think is bittersweet about the episode is that it took Larry's death to make Homer and his friends appreciate him and each other. Again, we're sorry if anyone is upset about Larry's demise. We certainly didn't kill the character off lightly, but I have to point out that Larry was never really on the shows, breakout stars. I don't remember any kids wearing a Larry t-shirt or doing a Larry the Drunk Lonely Barfly dance. It'd have been cool if they had." So, honestly, from reading that article, if it's a sincere apology for killing off the character, it's almost like in the episode of American Dad, where they announced they're going to kill off 100 previous characters, and they kill off like 100 background characters. If fans truly do miss Larry, I mean, they had 35 years to make more demands to have him make more lines. Not as serious as he probably thinks it is, more like just, not Larry the Barfly. His last name is actually Dalrymple. But the one major thing I've read about this since watching the episode and reading about fan theories was, in the episode, Larry's depicted as a lonely man who wants nothing more but to be seen with his friends, but in their eyes, they've barely ever interacted with Larry at all. They kind of just saw him at Moe's bar. But, as fans pointed out, Larry has had a friend at the bar, Sam, who was absent in the episode. And it seems like it defeats the whole purpose of having an episode discussion how Larry has always been a background character and never had many major events happening to him in the show. If you see him with people, hang out with him casually. It's funny, actually, going back to finding Simpsons voice lines from games, there is actually one of Sam. And ironically, he says this in one of the game lines.
My hat's my best friend. Apologies to Larry.
So I guess that's his best friend. But the topic of the episode being not really knowing someone until they're gone and not having a chance to get to know them better if they were still around is a topic that, when the Simpsons want to get really serious and discuss topics that are more dramatic, if not comedic, they do handle it great. And this is an episode that, there is discussion about what happens next when you die. And they all have different ideas of what happens after your death. They seem to not even see Larry as a friend, more as just a fellow patron at the bar.
I'm so glad you guys could make it.
How could we not? Larry was around.
But he saw them as friends and held them in high regards. When I asked the question, why of all the characters do you pick one that really isn't that known at all? I think honestly it's because, but having it be somebody that, while not a main character or major character, or even a major side character, having someone who was there the whole entire time, who was established as at least a regular at Moe's Tavern, and at least has hung out with Homer and his friends, to have it be someone that both the audience and the main characters of the show not know at all, it builds up that whole somebody you wish you had time to get to know before they passed away, and the what ifs. If they were still around, they can't re-establish a friendship, and they can't learn more about him. It reflects on them how they treat each other in the future as friends and see themselves as well. I think it was a good story to tell in the perspective of previous character and giving the character more to do than just sit in the background and drink. And I hope they do more with side characters in the future that either forgotten or push it aside and not given much to do, because The Simpsons have a whole back catalog of characters that I'm sure even diehard fans today probably forgot were around because it happened years ago. Or for a future episode, have Sam come back and be haunted by Larry. I don't know, and have Larry talk this time. That'd be nice. But I think to show Larry some proper respect, can The Simpsons please release a Larry t-shirt or doing the Larry the Drunken Lonely Barfly dance so that that's possible? And yeah, that's all I have for this video. If you enjoyed it, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and see ya.